Dolphins Today is presented by Manscaped. If you go to manscaped.com and use promo code Dolphins, you're going to get 20% off plus free shipping on all their products. Also, be sure to subscribe to the channel. We're going to continue to have you covered with all Dolphins news and rumors. Hit that sub button below. Dolphins fans, it's our first Trade Rumors mailbag of the year. I am Will Scott. You're watching Dolphins Today. We'll get into your trade ideas here in a second, but first, make sure you're subscribed to the channel because we bring you year-round coverage of the Miami Dolphins. Be sure you're subscribed so you don't miss any coverage of your Miami Dolphins. Carter Reimer, one of our real ones here on the channel. We appreciate his support of the show. He's got a trade idea for us here. Dolphins receive Isaiah Simmons, the linebacker from the Arizona Cardinals, who has been in some trade rumors. The Cardinals receive Ced Wilson, a 2024 fourth-round pick, and a fifth-round pick next year as well. I should say Isaiah Simmons, one of the better linebackers in terms of young inside linebackers in the league. Nearly 100 tackles last year, 5 tackles for loss, 2 interceptions, 4 sacks for Simmons last year in Arizona. I really, really like this guy as a player, and I think he would be a good fit on the Dolphins. Simmons would be awesome when you're talking about this guy as a possible trade target, and the Dolphins do have maybe some minor question marks right now at linebacker. Heard mixed reviews about David Long at minicamp and OTAs. Jerome Baker's been a tad bit inconsistent. Plus, you could save a lot of money by moving on from Jerome Baker now that we're after June 1st. So you slot Simmons in there, and I think that you have a pretty good linebacker room. You already have a good room, but it certainly would make it better. Do you want to trade for Isaiah Simmons? Type T for trade or type P for pass. Down in the comment section, it's the pinned comment, so go and reply when you get a second. Carter had a really interesting trade idea. I don't know if it would take 2 picks to get him. I think Ced Wilson and a pick might be enough to get Simmons to Miami. RS Swimmer has a trade idea as well. This is also interesting. The Dolphins receive a 2024 fourth-round pick. The Browns receive Raheem Mostert. So let's just say the Dolphins sign Dalvin Cook. I do believe that makes Raheem Mostert a prime trade candidate. In fact, it might even be likely that the team moves on from him or Wilson. And I think a fourth-round pick would be a pretty good deal for Raheem Mostert, who tallied nearly 900 yards as a Dolphin last year, 3 touchdowns, nearly 5 yards per carry, 181 carries for Mostert in his first season in Miami. Came back from that gruesome injury he suffered in San Francisco, had a decent year, but he'd probably be RB3 if the Dolphins were to sign Cook behind Cook and A-Chain. I think A-Chain's going to be ahead of Mostert on this depth chart by the end of the season. So we'll see what the Dolphins opt to do here with Mostert if they sign Cook. If they don't sign Cook, then you don't need to trade Raheem Mostert. You should not trade Raheem Mostert. But if they do, very possible, and I think a fourth-round pick would be a pretty good deal for him. Speaking of good deals, you get 20% off at manscaped.com with promo code Dolphins. 20% off and free shipping. You're watching this on Father's Day. You know, I told all of y'all, go get your Father's Day gift at manscaped.com, promo code Dolphins. Hopefully you took advantage of that. If not, though, not too late to get some of these great deals. You know how the ladies say hot girl summer? The guys say smooth sack summer. You can take care of your downstairs area with Manscaped. They got so many great deals there, including the Performance Package 4.0, which is coming in at $103.99. That's a great deal. Comes with a pair of boxer briefs, has the ball toner, has the crop reviver, has the weed whacker, and the lawnmower 4.0, my personal favorite Manscaped product. It's glorious, is it not? Be sure to go get some great deals. Take advantage of those great deals. Manscaped.com, promo code Dolphins, the best men's grooming products around. Also, they got the beard hedger. I use that to take care of my beard. Keeps my beard looking fresh. Everything you need is at manscaped.com. Again, promo code Dolphins. That link, that promo code in the comments and the description of today's video. Qwerty's got a trade idea. Dolphins receive 2 draft picks, a 4th-round pick next year and a 7th-round pick. The Chargers get Ced Wilson. I do not think it's likely that you get 2 draft picks for Ced. I think just 1. However, I think Ced might be a good fit in LA. And a reason that I say that is because Justin Herbert, I think, could use some more weapons. And also, he's a trade candidate because of his lack of production last year in Miami. Just 12 receptions for 136 yards. And that was surprising. He was supposed to be the 3rd wide receiver on this football team last year. After that breakout season in Dallas 2 years ago, where he had 45 receptions for 602 yards, 6 touchdowns, then he was non-existent in the Dolphins offense last year, didn't even average a reception per game. So they could look to move on from him, not to mention you would save $7 million moving on from Cedric Wilson. So that is worth noting and why that makes him an attractive trade candidate here. Maybe the Chargers would be a team interested. Will Ced Wilson be traded? Type Y for yes or type N for no down in the comment section. Go down and let me know. Will Ced Wilson be traded? I'm going to say no. I would like to keep him on this football team because I know, just from watching him in Dallas 2 years ago, that he can be a productive player in this offense. And the more weapons you have in this offense, the better. This Dolphins offense is absolutely fantastic. Now let's get to my trade idea here. Dolphins receive Chase Young and a 2nd-round pick. So basically, this is a 2nd-round pick swap. So you would be swapping 2nd-round picks with the Commanders here. And you'd be giving up a 2nd-round pick and a 4th-round pick in 2 years. I don't know how realistic this is, but I've seen some trade ideas here for Chase Young where it's not going to take that much to get him because he's only played in 12 games the last 2 seasons. Now, would you do this trade for Chase Young? Type D for deal or type ND for no deal down in the comments section. A 2nd-round pick swap and a future 4th-round pick to get Chase Young. I'm just going to assume the 2nd-round pick swap might be somewhat significant based on the draft order. Would you do this trade? Type D for deal or ND for no deal. John Russell, what's the biggest obstacle to the Fins winning the AFC East? Strength of schedule, the offensive line, or the injuries? I would say the offensive line because the offensive line situation right now could be a lot better. I'm worried about the left guard. I'm worried about right tackle. I think Wynn or Austin Jackson might ultimately put up a decent season there. Jeremy Chuggs is just unbelievable on the sidelines right now. Strength of schedule is going to be tough as well, but when I look at this Dolphins schedule, the way it's constructed, I think the Dolphins can win 11 or 12 games. I really do. But in terms of the biggest obstacle to winning the East, Tua's got to stay healthy. If Tua does not stay healthy, the Dolphins are not going anywhere, much less winning the East. Ruski, we appreciate you, man. Should the Dolphins get Kareem Hunt or the newly released James Robinson or any other free agent running back or draft another running back? No, the only running back that I would add, and you can probably guess what I'm about to say, it's Dalvin Cook. That's the only running back that I would add at this point. I feel pretty good about the room right now, especially after drafting Devon Achane. Mark Smith, if Liam Eichenberg is doing as well as rumors say at center, will they just extend Williams or move him back to guard? There's been some guys getting some snaps in at center. Liam Eichenberg included, Keon Smith, Dan Feeney. Apparently Liam's looked decent there. I think it's possible they'll just move on from Williams. If Liam is good at center, they might just move on from Williams because he was a no-show at OTAs, which is not mandatory. He was a no-show at mandatory minicamp. It's possible they'll look to move on. Now, I would be stunned if Liam Eichenberg is the starter there, though. Stunned. Skipper Schilling Jr., what's up, my man? If the second-string QB battle concerning to anyone else besides me, it sounds like Mike White's been struggling. Yeah, Mike White apparently hasn't looked great. I'm not really going to overreact, though, to minicamp or OTAs. It's just practice. I think when training camp comes around and he's still struggling, I'll be a little bit more concerned. But Mike White, the reports that were that he was not very good. Skylar Thompson apparently looked decent, so maybe he'll beat out Mike White for QB2. John Ruiz, my man. There are rumors that the Dolphins might possibly sign Leonard Fournette. Rumors is a strong word. Leonard Fournette said the Dolphins have the best roster in the league. That does not mean Leonard Fournette wants to be a Dolphin. It especially does not mean the Dolphins want Leonard Fournette. And I don't think, again, I'm going to reiterate what I just said. The Dolphins do not need a running back. The only running back I'm okay with adding to this roster right now is Dalvin. If you didn't get on this mailbag, no worries. DM me your question on Twitter at WillScott44. Give me a follow there as well.